Hello, friends. This is Maria. On Quinta Maria, I enjoy homemaking, cooking, baking, gardening, and crafts. If you're interested, please hang out with me today. So, today I am making tamales for the first time in my life. We've been to Mexico recently, and my husband's family were so generous as to host us for several meals, and I learned a lot about Mexican traditional food. Tamales are famous for being a delicious traditional food that is served for Christmas or New Year. It's also quite time consuming to make. So, usually, you will have an assembly line of family members and friends getting together to make several dozens of tamales for the holidays. Today, I am making beef tamales all by myself, so let's see how long it will take and what the results will be. Let's go. First, let's make the beef filling. I have here about 2 tablespoons of oil, just vegetable oil, in a hot pan. Make sure that the oil is heated, not smoking but just heated, and then I will add the chuck roast. So today for the beef filling, I am adding chuck roast. Sorry, my son is asking all kinds of questions now. So this is our beef. As you can see, it's marbled. The extra fat in the chuck roast is going to add moisture to the filling and make our tamales really moist and delicious. This is about 3 pounds of chuck roast. We're browning this meat to create that umami flavor that results from shocked and browned animal protein. This pot is too small for the entire quantity of the meat, so we are browning it in 2 batches. The spices that we will add are a bay leaf or two, a few pods of cardamom, cinnamon, smoked paprika, nutmeg, and oregano, cloves, and a tablespoon of chicken bouillon. We will add these spices after all the beef is browned. I will also add a medium onion cut into quarters and 3 cloves of garlic and boiling water to cover the meat to cook the chuck roast, but the camera wasn't rolling, so I am sorry about that. Here we add the red dried chilies for their rich color and smoky flavor. They are not spicy, so if you want the tamales filling to be a little spicy, you will need to add crushed red chilies in the following step. When the meat is cooked, and what we're looking for is that it becomes tender to the fork, as you can see, we will take it out of the broth and start shredding it with 2 forks. It's important to stay hydrated while you're doing this hard work. So here I am drinking Jamaica or hibiscus tea. Sorry, tree. The candle also helps reduce the cooking smells around me so it doesn't stick to uh, my clothes, my hair, and the furniture. I removed the stem and seeds from the chilies that we cooked with the beef. Then in a blender, I added the chilies, the onion, the garlic, and a couple cups of broth. We will mix these together to make the red sauce that will be added to the shredded beef and the masa. Then in the same pot where we cooked the chuck roast, we will melt 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter and then add the shredded beef and stir well. Again, I try to get it just a little bit brown before I started adding the the red sauce. Then here I'm adding the sauce and we'll adjust the seasoning to taste. We will use the rest of the sauce, as I said, to the masa, and masa means the dough. Our dough is made of corn flour that is prepared especially for making tamales. We will let we will let the beef simmer on low heat now so that all the ingredients just mix together. Make sure that it doesn't dry out. Let's now soak the corn husk. I got a bag of corn husk at a Hispanic grocery chain. I will take just some of the husks and put them in this pink tub with warm water for 1 hour. It's a little too warm, so I am going to add a little more, um, just room temperature water. Let's make the masa. So in the stand mixer, I added 2 cups of Crisco and 3 sticks of butter. Traditionally, you would use lard, but in this family, we do not eat lard, so I used the mix of Crisco and butter. All was room temperature, and using the batter attachment, I mixed them until they were soft and shiny. Make sure to stop every now and then and collect all the butter from the bowl and mix again to make sure that all the butter and all the Crisco is well mixed. As you can see, it's really shiny and fluffy and beautiful. One of the main characteristics of this masa or this dough is that it has to be fluffy and light. You will need 2 pounds of masa. I made a mistake here and used 2 kilograms of masa, so I ended up with a lot of dough. We will add 3 tablespoons of baking powder to the tamale masa, and then I will add the whipped butter or lard if you're using lard, and mix them by hand until the fat has coated every grain of the corn flour. Then we will add the red sauce. I strained it here to make sure that I don't have any big pieces of the chili showing on the masa. We want a smooth, beautiful color only. I ran out of sauce and I knew that I will need some more for the dough. So in a blender, I mixed hot water, chicken bouillon, soaked, destemmed, and de-seeded chilies, the red chilies, half an onion, a fresh onion, and 2 cloves of garlic. This gave me some extra sauce to add to the masa. So, and in a stand mixer, now we're going to mix the masa with more of the sauce until we reach the needed consistency. You know that you reached the perfect masa when you take a little piece and drop it in a cup of water. If it floats, then it's ready. If it sinks, keep mixing and test again. I tested every batch of masa to make sure that the masa was fluffy and light like a cloud. Now to assemble the tamales. Traditionally, you put an olive in the middle of the tamal. I used pitted olives here because the kids might break their teeth on the pits. If you're going to use regular olives, just warn the people who are going to eat so they would be careful. Take a corn husk, put a spoonful of masa on the husk, spread the masa until it's almost equally spread, and then add the filling. Add the olive and fold the tamale. Right, left, and fold the bottom. Now you have made your very first tamale, just like me. It's really that easy. Repeat until you finish the quantity, fill the pot, or make the quantity that you want. You wouldn't believe how many pictures I took with that tamal. It was a victory to make something that is so time consuming. And oh, speaking of time, this whole process took me about 2 hours, all by myself. And again, I used 3 pounds of meat, and supposedly I was supposed to make 2 pounds of masa, but I ended up making 4 pounds, 2 kilograms. So that certainly took way too much time. I didn't need to do that. But yeah, it wasn't that difficult at all. Could you see the little ones helping? And my cup of coffee. We filled the pot, and here I used the leftover husks to cover the tamales to keep the steam in. I will add water and salt in the steamer pot, bring it to a boil, then put the tamales in the steaming pot. This quantity was about 4 dozens, and it took almost 2 hours of steaming on low heat until it was done. This steamer pot, I believe, is not a steamer pot. It's a pasta making pot. I found it at Walmart for about $15, and as I said, this is my very first time to make tamales, and it worked perfectly. So I suggest that you check your nearest Walmart to get one of those. It's amazing. It's not the traditional pot, but it really worked well. I also added this towel to keep the steam in, to ensure that the tamales cook right and stay moist. I had told you that instead of 2 pounds of flour, I used 2 kilograms. So I stored the leftover masa in Ziploc bags and put them in the freezer. I have no idea if this is going to work. We're going to find out in maybe a future video. Let me know if you want to see what happened to the frozen masa. I would like to make some chicken tamales, so maybe this is our next project. After 1 hour and 45 minutes comes the moment of truth. Now to taste test our tamales. We had taste tested like 5 at this point because we just couldn't wait. The masa looks like it was too thin on this one, but it's cooked beautifully and it tasted amazing. I will really be making this more often. I wasn't a huge fan of tamales, but now that I know how to adjust it to the taste of this family, I will be making it more often. Tamale making can sound intimidating, but it really isn't. I hope you try it and share the results with us. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to receive notifications of my coming videos, and I will pop another video here on the screen. Go watch it until we meet again. Peace and love to all of you.